The Rock. Now, it's sort of a bit weird of us talking about like The Rock and Cody Rhodes and stuff like that because we record this on a Thursday or on a Friday, as this is. And by the time this podcast comes out a few hours later, the entire story's changed. So we'll talk about this briefly. But did you watch the Las Vegas press conference with The Rock and Roman Reigns and Cody and that whole thing?
Well, I watched the clips of it. I didn't watch it while it was going on. But it was Rock completely turned heel then, didn't he? There. You know, if you really try to go back and kind of investigate where all this has been, it changes every week. And I think that those Endeavor people, them UFC people or whoever they are, that took over the company and they're going to run WWE now. They're not wrestling fans, but they are wrestling fans. So when they heard it was going to be Cody and Roman, you know, you can tell these are people who watched wrestling 5 years ago, 8 years, whatever, when The Rock was coming along, getting his big push. But they remember The Rock from 15 years ago. And when they see Rock versus Roman Reigns, well, that's the first thing that jumps at them. Wow, that's the main event. And when they hear Cody Rhodes, they go, no. I mean, you know, if we're going to sell tickets and pay-per-views, it's got to be the Rock and Roman Reigns. That's going to just those two names are going to sell it. And I partially agree. They forgot that Cody won the Royal Rumble. And the Royal Rumble automatically guarantees the winner a shot at the world title at WrestleMania. And what they did, they went out there on Raw 2 weeks ago, and Cody just gave it away. He was going to finish his story. And to me, I thought it was, I didn't really put a lot of stock in it then. But then again, I'm not a fan per se. But as a fan, I'd say, wait a minute. Why did he just give this away? Why? He was the one, I'm going to finish my story and my dad's going to be proud of me. And, oh, I'm going to do what my dad didn't. I'm going to finish the story. That's the whole angle, is finish what you started. And when he walked off, I noticed he was walking a little bit like dejected. If you can tell that from somebody just walking back from the ring. And I think people got to thinking about that and they said, Cody got screwed. They knew something happened behind the scenes that they weren't, that they didn't know about. And they're just going to try to say, well, here's the main event. We're going to go with that. No. They turned on Rock, and I never thought I'd see that. The Rock, you know, he got those big cheers when he go, oh, The Rock, he's back. Oh, and what The Rock did really when he come back was like he crowned the new owner of WWE. He was like giving them his blessing. Yeah, this is a good thing. But then when they switched WrestleMania to Roman and Rock, now they're saying, oh, whoa. And I do applaud Triple H because he stayed on Cody's side. So that's one good thing they can fight this with. And I think when they realized that they had made a huge mistake or a huge blunder, now they said, and I think Triple H was saying in the back, well, I kind of try to tell you guys that the fans are not going to. I don't think they knew. See, the fans really control who's over and who's not. Now, you can try to get somebody over. You can take them out there every week, and you can have them beat this guy and this guy and this guy. Don't mean he can draw a dime. It's the story. And they had one of the best stories that I've ever seen the WWE create. This story took almost 2 years in the making. So when he started, then he gave his reason for being there. His dad, Dusty. Hell, Dusty's over more now than he was ever been. Because now he's this figure that Cody's trying to live up to. But it was a long, drawn-out story, and everybody wants to see now the story finished. But when they took it away from Cody by having him give it to Rock, that's what the people, they didn't understand. Then they heard that all of a sudden that the Rock was on the board. He's the head of the board. They're going, okay. But I do think that they will take this angle and even their blunder, and they will turn it around. And you remember Mr. McMahon?
Mm-hmm.
They won't bring McMahon in it, but it'll be along the same lines. And it's like the boss, which will be The Rock. He's trying to run the company. And he's going to go up against Triple H, who's the good guy trying to run it the right way. And I think they'll take this for the next year or two, and it will be hot. And you can look at their houses now. Their houses before, they'd go to some of these arenas, and it wouldn't even be full. Maybe half of it is full, and that's called putting them all on the hards on the camera side. So when the camera shoots across the ring, it fills in. And I didn't know this till, I don't know, several months ago. And WWE has done it for years. AEW is doing it now, or they have done it. They actually pay people to come in and sit in unsold seats.
Oh, yeah.
So it looks like it's sold. So, but the thing about Roman, and getting back to what I was talking about, Roman and Triple H, they'll be the figureheads, and everybody will align behind them.
Oh, Rock and Triple H, not Roman and Triple H.
Rock and Triple H. That's what I meant to say. But anyway,
let me ask you this, right? So apparently, The Rock was filming a behind-the-scenes thing in WWE like a couple of weeks ago, and he said on camera then that the main event would be himself, The Rock, versus Roman Reigns. So that had actually been the plan at some point. Yet they had Cody Rhodes win the Royal Rumble, but yet they didn't know that CM Punk was going to be injured, leaving Seth Rollins open for a match. Very weird, all this. But somehow, someone described it as almost Russo-esque. Is that there's just so much like calamity getting towards the WrestleMania event itself that we might have to wait a long time to actually see what actually happens. But by this point, they probably got their minds made up.
Well, what I think happened is Endeavor had just taken over. I think they were still really working out their chain of command, who controlled what, and it must have got messed up along the way, but it got messed up big time. I mean, I can see a match underneath or down the card getting kind of screwy, but not your main event. I mean, that's said, this is what we're going with. But now what they have done, even by this mistake, they painted out a long road for the WWF to go down and to really, tap into it. And there's a lot of roads or doors leading off this road. I tell you, they have more choices now than they had.